Hello and welcome to the My Amazon Guy live Friday Q&A. My name is Noah Wickham. I'm sales director here at My Amazon Guy. I am here to answer any and all of your questions. We're going to have a little bit of a short one today. I have another podcast I actually have to hop on over to after this, which if you guys are interested, I'll be on Todd Welch's Amazon podcast today. So feel free to hop on over there. I actually might throw a recording on our YouTube channel as well. So stay tuned for that. But before that, we're here to answer all your questions. So let's get into it. We have a bunch from Thomas to start us out. Hi, Noah. How are you? Doing great. Let's see. Oh, sorry. A bunch of stuff just popped up on my screen. All right. I asked you 2 weeks ago about wooden baby high chairs. Yeah, I remember that. I'm going to launch it on a couple of weeks. And I have two options of PPC launch. One, broad match campaign with only one keyword. Two, exact match campaign. Which one you recommend, or is there other type? I'm also going to be launching using lots of video ads on Amazon. So I'm going to typically recommend this. I would probably lean towards exact match. So broad match can be really nice once you have an established idea of your keywords. The issue with broad match is that you're going to be all over the place, probably a lot more impressions in some capacity, but probably a lot lower search or a lot lower click overall, just because of how they work. If you are more niche in what you're choosing, as far as keywords go, exact is going to be much more your style. So I'd probably go that route. That's going to be much better for conversion at the end of the day comparatively. And that's what you really need when you first launch. And last question, do you recommend using Amazon Vine reviews for this product? I'm up in the air on Vine for a product like this. It's type of thing where you don't get to choose who uses Vine. You can't choose if it's someone who even has a baby for that matter. So realistically speaking, yeah, Vine's going to be up in the air for me. I would probably lean towards no in this capacity, and it's not going to hurt you too much to not do Vine. All right, Pure Nature. Hi, Noah. Good morning. Good morning. My week 2 of launch over yesterday. Okay, my week 2 of launch over yesterday. 2 variation, pretty similar. A cost 48%, sales 76 items, starting rank 262 to 36K now. Nice. Selling for 45% off, i.e. 32.49. Paid Amazon 550 yesterday. Okay. I am now on page 3 organically. I have 7 pages. Yep. I had 10 items for the for Vive. I assume you mean Vine. Received 3 reviews. 2 are 5 out of 5. 1 is 4. Average sale a day now is 7 a day. Question: how long should I keep this price? It's a good question. So if you haven't looked at it before, let me pull this up. We have a page actually that goes over this. That's not what I want. Nope. Let me see here. Here we go. So we have a page that goes over this. I'll present this right now for you guys. So I would go to this. It's just our FBA product launch pricing strategy. Here's what I typically recommend always. Bless me. Here's what I typically recommend always. So you're at, you said, I think 45% right now, which is in between the 50 and 40%. Once you're kind of getting 50 sales, you can kind of increase it a little bit more. The goal at the end of the day is over the course of time to just get to the point where you're getting more and more sales volume at each one of the different numbers. So once you get to about 20% off, that's when you need 100 sales before you move to 10. So on and so forth. So if you're getting 7 a day right now and you're at 45%, assume that within about 5 days, 6 days, you can kind of move on over and get a couple more. Because I assume your sales are going to rise past 7 a day as time goes on. So that's what my recommendation at the end of the day is going to be there. Let's see. What should be strategy from here for next few weeks? Same thing they're doing right now. Keyword are getting expensive. What changes I need in keyword campaign to keep A costs low? How can I add replacement slash concurs policy? Okay, in my seller account description so that customer contact me for any questions, issues, or replacement or damage. I got one refund, damage. Thanks, you were awesome, man. Yeah. So when it comes to the replacement thing, if you're FBA, there's nothing you can do there. It's Amazon policy. Your policy doesn't matter. If you're FBM, a little different, obviously. So people can, yes, look up to see, but most people won't. I'll be honest with you. They'll just request a refund and return the product. You can try, but it just doesn't matter. You can go to your seller profile stuff. You go up to the top right and then go down to your profile. You can change it there, though. As far as keywords getting expensive, yes, I would really look and see what are your most expensive keywords. Are they actually driving sales? And if they're not, negate them. So never be afraid to negate a bad keyword at the end of the day. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, sorry for the long question. No worries. Misha. Let's move my mic over here a little bit too. Hoping it's not super loud. Good morning. I'm expected to run off of inventory in 5 days. My ads are off. We'll be back in stock in 40 days. What do I do? Minimize the negative BSR and ranking impact. Also, should I close the listing once my inventory is at 0? Thanks a lot. No, you don't want to close the listing. The listing will automatically come down once you are at 0. So that's totally fine. The big thing that I always recommend people, keep increasing your price. Increase your price as much as you can when you're running out of inventory. Just from the aspect of the worst case scenario here is that you have less sales, but you're more profitable. So increase your price. It'll keep your inventory around for a long time. As far as running out of stock, just plan better with inventory forecasting next time. It's the number one sin on Amazon, right? Number one commandment that you shouldn't break, but also at the same time, it's not the worst thing in the world to happen from the aspect of people want your product and you've done something correct. So absolutely just keep increasing your price right now and, keep moving it forward. Megan, I have a shipment plan that was canceled. It's a total of 5 different warehouse addresses. I've already contacted the logistics company and they cannot reroute it. Will Amazon receive it? So the question I would have is, why was it canceled? Did you cancel it? Did Amazon cancel it? Did the shipping company cancel it? Like the couple of different questions there. Let's assume that you accidentally canceled it and had already sent the items. Yes, they will arrive to Amazon. Will Amazon receive it? Maybe. They don't technically have to. They typically will, but it's definitely going to be a ding on your account, and they will likely reach out to you about it and let you know that if you do that again, they will restrict your ability to send in new shipments. So I would keep that in mind as you're kind of going through it. But yeah, go from there. Touchstone. We were planning to transfer an Amazon account to our new LLC. The seller just lost their trademark because they forgot to file renewal, and now they filed a new application for the same trademark. Will Amazon notice that the trademark was canceled? Should the seller notify Amazon of the cancellation and of the new serial number? Wait until you have the new serial. Oh, there's a 3 of 2. Also, is it okay to start account transfer to our new LLC? Or will this cause Amazon to take away brand registry? So here would be my advice. Once you have the new trademark under pending, you need to make sure you go through and you update the trademark information on brand registry. Amazon isn't going to notice that your trademark is gone for at least a couple of months. They're not checking this every single day. They're checking it periodically. When will they check it? There's no way to tell, right? That being said, what I will say in a situation like this is that brand registry is not something that's super easy to do when you have to change trademark, serial number, anything like that. So you may end up having to create a new brand with the same brand name under brand registry, and then do a merge of your listings to get that new brand name. Unlikely that you'll have to go to that extent, but be prepared for that kind of situation. This is why it is exceptionally important to make sure you're always filing correct documentation with any trademark or anything. As far as transferring the new LLC, I would definitely wait until you figure out the brand registry issues, or you could be in a world of annoyance is probably the best way to put it once you're doing all of those. So best of luck to you, Touchstone. Hello, sir. I hope you and your family are doing well. They are. Let's see. What question you got for us this week, Asif? We are currently selling on Amazon USA and have started using remote fulfillment, cool, to expand to Canada and Mexico. Our ads are currently running in the US. Should we use the same campaigns for Canada and Mexico, or is it better to create new campaigns for these marketplaces? New campaigns. Is going to be, that's just the way it goes. So your US ones are going to focus there, but technically speaking, remote fulfillment is from US to these other marketplaces, right? So yes, you should create new campaigns. I would not do the exact same campaign, especially for something like Mexico, because you have to think about it. If you have an English campaign in the US, why is somebody in Mexico searching for something in English? Right? So keep that in mind. That being said, Mexico is always going to be exceptionally small, especially through remote fulfillment, because things are just too expensive, especially with the cross-border and everything. So you might get more out of Canada, but even Canada, North American remote fulfillment is going to be, peanuts compared to the US. Good way to test, though, if you should add that to either marketplace, though. I should start adding some like background lo-fi music on these. Maybe we'll start doing that next week. What's the best strategy to get brand approval in recent days? There's not a strategy to it. File a trademark. Make sure your trademark isn't already trademarked. Make sure that there isn't already a brand on Amazon that has that trademark or has something similar. File brand registry. There's not like a strategy to it. It's just don't have someone else's brand and don't have any account level issues. Sean, hi. For exact manual targeting for specific keywords, at what point, clicks or spend, would you turn off the keywords if it's not getting sales? Okay, so at what point, click or spend, would you turn off keywords if it's not getting sales? So I would typically say that's dependent on everyone. If I see that after a couple of days or a week, I'm getting a bunch of clicks and I'm not getting any sales whatsoever, I'm negating that keyword. It's a bad keyword. That's it. I should also say that's if you essentially are kind of meeting certain thresholds. What is your average conversion rate is something you should be thinking about. So if you have an average conversion rate, let's say of 2.6%, and you get to the point where you would need to have double the number of conversions off of the next few clicks for you to reach that, then yeah, you absolutely are probably in the realm of needing to negate that as a bad keyword. Would you lower the bid by a certain amount weekly until it doesn't spend anymore? No, never be afraid to negate a bad keyword. Never be afraid to negate a bad keyword. That's a very, very common thing. You need to make sure that you are not afraid of negations. Negations are there to help you control your advertising at the end of the day and make it as relevant and targeted as possible. If so, what percentage would you lower by? So I wouldn't. And would you apply this to manual ASIN targeting as well? I would absolutely apply it to manual ASIN targeting. Actually, I would make manual ASIN targeting the primary for negations. We have 2 supplements launched, so the cost per clicks are high. Yeah, cost per click is always going to be high. Also, would this apply to manual ASIN? Yeah, it would. Mark, happy Friday to you as well, sir. Let's see here. Anxiety shelf. Is it true there is a honeymoon period for new launch products, and having around 100 people search up competitor, go back and buy from our brand can blitz listing, as well having each leave a review? Ooh, anxiety shelf is trying to get me to start a war in the Amazon community today. So honeymoon period. Is it real or is it not real? Who is to say? Here's what I will say. I'm not going to say whether or not I personally believe the honeymoon period exists, because I don't feel like having to get into a LinkedIn argument with a bunch of people today. What I will say instead is that the most important thing you can do to set yourself up for success when you first launch a product is get sales velocity, as much sales velocity as you possibly can. That sales velocity is what is going to launch your product forward. Best way to do that is going to be through things such as having a decreased price and increasing your ad spend. That is easiest ways to get sales velocity when you first launch a product. As far as having 100 people search up competitor, go back and buy from your brand, blitz, that sounds more like a gray hat tactic. It also sounds like an easy way for Amazon to potentially see manipulation and whatnot and try and ding you for it. I'm not a huge fan of using strategies like that. If you want to try it, go ahead. It's not something I fully would recommend, though, just from personal experience. But it's to each their own, I suppose. What is the difference between negative a keyword? Okay, by right in negative and switching off the button behind. Oh, what is the difference between like negating a keyword and like switching off, like pausing the keyword? Yeah, negating the keyword makes it so that, let's say, for instance, you have a phrase campaign and you have a bunch of phrase keywords, or a broad campaign and a bunch of broad keywords. Now, the best way to make those the most useful you possibly can is through good negations. The reason for that is that when someone searches something that isn't relevant to your product at all, but it has, I don't know, some type of relevancy, right? Like the keywords are going to be similar. Think of it like this. If someone searches for TV remote control, right? Or TV remote receiver. How about that? TV remote receiver. If you have, for instance, remote control car, the word remote is going to hit on broad campaign for that, right? So that's the type of thing where you want to not go against that, because that's going to very much negatively affect you at the end of the day. That's the best way to look at it. Is my 2 week from launching? I don't think I got the first part of that question. Let's see. I have 2 organically for the main keywords. I'm first 10 organically and 7 keywords for the search volume, 8,000 all. I sell 7 unit average per day. What to do with PPC? A lot of top of search, a lot of competitor targeting, a lot of defensive targeting. That's what I would do, especially if you're already pretty high top search and you have some decent search volume. We are using remote fulfillment to expand. I think I answered this, did I not? I did. Look at this guy. Am I going to prosper? I'm going to say tentatively yes, but I have not fully decided yet. I have been to Prosper Show every single year for, I think, the last 5 years. Maybe a little bit longer, but at least the last 5 years, except for, technically speaking, 5 years ago. Yeah, 5 years ago to this year was, I guess technically I didn't go to that one because it got canceled. But yeah, about 5 years, I should say. Technically 6, I suppose, but I skipped 1 year. Anyways, Prosper is tons of fun. I love Prosper. It has always been something I really enjoyed doing and going, seeing everyone. And it's great for, just meeting people as well. That being said, it has become exceptionally vendor heavy in recent years. I was there last year, and I think the entire time I was there during the conference, I met maybe 20 sellers, and I was talking to a lot of people. And throughout the entire event, over the entire week, I met maybe 20 sellers. And the thing that's funny is half of them I didn't even actually meet at the event. I met at other places around the event, right? And so I'm up in the air on whether or not it seems very vendor heavy. Maybe if they change some stuff around. So I'm gonna say a tentative yes, but we'll see. We'll see if I make it to Prosper this year. Probably will, realistically. Oh, Jeff, good to see you. I sent 500 units to FBA. Amazon shows all were checked in, but now inventory shows less than half for me. And there is now an Amazon Vendor Central account selling 233 of my units. Continued. In fulfillment by Amazon settings, Amazon allowed to buy my products is disabled. Do I also need to adjust the damaged inventory ownership settings? How best to handle and get my products back? Yeah, so it sounds like so if it is VC, and verify if it's actually VC, Jeff, because there's difference between Amazon.com selling it. If it is Amazon.com, that means it is Vendor Central. Vendor Central will show and say Amazon.com, and it means someone is selling your product directly to Amazon. Now, it for the side of like Amazon actually taking like damaged goods or anything like that, that will show up as Amazon warehouse. Big difference in differentiation there. The fact that you sent in 500 units to FBA, Amazon shows all were checked in, but now inventory shows less than half for you. That's a bit odd to me. I'm wondering now if maybe perchance someone was selling your product to Amazon, and I would very much raise a case with this immediately, just from the aspect of for the damaged inventory ownership thing, yeah, absolutely turn that off. Don't let Amazon purchase your inventory, whatever. But I would be raising hell if half my inventory was gone, and then all of a sudden Amazon started selling it and I got nothing for it. Especially if someone else maybe was selling the inventory to Vendor Central and they have mixed inventory on, which if you don't have specific product labeling, you can absolutely have mixed inventory. And that could be likely the cause here. Some Amazon actually checked in your inventory as their inventory or something along those lines. Be really interested to see that, though, if you want to send me a screenshot or anything. Roichi, if I'm trying to create cash flow for 2 existing variants so I can meet demands and use the additional funds to reinvest in more inventory, if I'm create cash flow for 2 existing variants so I can meet demands and use additional funds. Okay. That being said, and this may be a dumb question, but if I wanted to sell a different product in same category, is it wise to allocate funds from current ASIN's cash flow towards buying inventory for new product, or should I use other funds to invest in inventory of new product and create independent cash flow for this product? That's a business decision. That's up to you. I always look at it in a couple of capacities. You never want to risk your current business to start new business. So if you don't have the current cash flow necessary to support both launching a new product and reordering inventory for products that is already working, I would not suggest it. That being said, if you're going to discontinue the other products or anything like that and you want to try this one, go ahead. But again, it all comes down to a business decision around cash flow and what you are comfortable with, and making sure that your business is going to be stable, right? That's what you have to come down to. If tomorrow, or if you spend this money and turns out this product is complete waste of time and effort and flops, is it going to negatively impact your entire business, or was it a side project you were hoping to get some new revenue out of? That's what it comes down to. Tony, let's see here. I got an account deactivation notice for one late order that it was actually caused by weather issues. Should I appeal it? It was on an FBM order. Yeah, always appeal it. Amazon's probably still going to blame you for it, but absolutely appeal it, just from the aspect of you start a paper trail for those type of things, and you can give them a POA saying, hey, here's what I'm going to do in the future to solve it. It makes it so it's less likely for them to deactivate your account in the event that they choose to. So yeah, absolutely, always appeal, but it's not necessarily the something that's going to happen. Like, nothing good is going to come from it. But you should appeal it, absolutely. How can we change campaigns names in bulk other than from bulk file? Is there any other tool for it? No, bulk file is the only tool for it. Leopold. Hi. Would I negate a keyword even though a keyword is seasonal and not performing now? No, I would just lower bid volume and pause it. So you don't want to negate a keyword that is seasonal, because if it truly is a seasonal keyword, it shouldn't be getting impressions and it shouldn't be getting clicks outside of season. Simple as that, right? So if you have a keyword that, let's say in December, let's think like snowflakes or hot cocoa, Christmas in general, right? Those are keywords that are booming, absolutely booming during the holiday season, but then will drop off like a, hot potato, or a, anvil off a cliff as soon as January rolls around, right? So search volume isn't there. So you're not going to be wasting money on them regardless, because there's no search volume. Who is there to click on the, in general? So no is my general recommendation for seasonal keywords. When using the product launch pricing strategy, are you just lowering the price or running a sale price? I run a sale price, but it doesn't matter because you won't have a reference price to go off of. So you're probably not going to get a slash through discount in any capacity. So it doesn't really matter, but sale price is just easier to track because you know what your price should be. And that's usually how I go about it at the very least. Are these recorded? Yeah, every single one of these is recorded. You can throw it, or you can check our YouTube channel. If you just go to our YouTube channel and you look at lives, I think you should be able to see all previous recordings as well. I think I'm coming up on a year of doing these. So I have done almost 52 of these bad boys. But yeah, if you head on over to our YouTube channel, I'll share screen real quick. So YouTube channel, My Amazon Guide, it's how you're commenting here anyways. We have playlists. So our playlists, I believe there's one for our Q&A, or a live Q&A somewhere. I don't know. Somewhere around here is live Q&A, but you can also just go to live and list all of the different live videos we've done. So I've done, one every single week. We rename them and stuff, but always good stuff to watch at the end of the day. I had 2 variant hero ASIN that drove my ranking to top 5, sold out, but now the existing ASIN has suffered and ranking dropped bad. I'm finally getting back hero ASIN in stock in a couple of weeks. What is best strategy to gain my ranking back once I get my hero based ASIN back in stock? Decrease price, increase ads. That's the best strategy ever. I mean, just throw a promotion on, can throw some coupons on anything, and immediately just get some price going, get some additional price going, or not price, additional sales going, get a promotion going, and pump up your advertising. That's going to get you into the best place possible as soon as you're back in stock. That's realistically all it comes down to for ranking. My order of only 200 units was delivered on January 29th, but still hasn't been checked in yet. Tomorrow will be day 10. Should I panic, or is this expected during this time? Or should I create a claim? Delivered on 29th and hasn't been checked in yet. Tomorrow will be day 10. No, I mean, that's fine. You can create a case for it, but realistically, Amazon has 90 days to check in and receive your product. That's just how it is. Unfortunately, that is the case. But yeah, I would submit something at the very least just to see if they'll get started on it. Seems a little odd based on the time of year, because usually this is a bit slower because it's, Chinese New Year, all of that stuff. So that's the odd part to me. But past that, yeah, absolutely go ahead and submit a claim for it, or not a claim, a case. Some of our products are restricted and not eligible in Canada and Mexico marketplaces. What steps should we take to make them eligible? Or is there an alternative way to sell these products in Canada and Mexico? Depends on what the product is and why it's not eligible. So for instance, a lot of people hate that they can't sell their supplements in Canada, but it's because Canada Health won't let them. Your product isn't allowed in that country. You can't sell it in that country. That's why it's not eligible, right? You can't, I don't know, start petitioning the government of whatever country you want to sell in, I suppose, because what else are you supposed to do? If your product isn't eligible for a marketplace, you likely aren't going to get it eligible. There's not much you can do unless by chance it's ineligible because of a random reason that you're not, privy to. That would be the one thing. Daniel. Hi, can you please give me steps of doing a market analysis for product launch, and how can I find that that the product is in need or there is a gap in the market? I gotta be honest with you, this is the one area that I think I suck at, Daniel. I would love to help you out here. I absolutely would, but when it comes to like new product research and figuring out, the perfect product to sell, I'm bad at it. I will be the first person to admit that to you. It's not that I'm bad at it, I should say. What I will say instead is I have always used the strategy of a spray and pray method. So I find a lot of different products that have good, decent potential. I'll do obvious analysis, Keepa analysis of the category, Jungle Scout analysis of the category, which I would absolutely recommend you do as well. But I usually take the approach of looking across a variety of different products and a variety of different categories. I don't like putting all my eggs in one basket. Now, if you're looking for like retail arbitrage, I could do that all day for you, right? That's super simple. But private label, launching a new product, that just takes understanding the niche market. What I'm always going to tell people, you will have the most success launching a product that you yourself would purchase and you yourself want and know things about already. That is where you will have your most success on Amazon. It's very difficult at this point in time to find like untapped market niches when it comes to launching new products. Is it still possible? Absolutely. Is it something that I'm an expert in? Not necessarily. Could I probably spend, 5-10 hours and find you 2 or 3 decent products to try and launch? Probably. But it's not something that I think anyone who says, oh yeah, I can find a new product every other week. No, you can't. Focus on categories that you know very well. Take that category, go to Jungle Scout, go to Helium, set up a market tracker, see what the market is like, set a goal of how much money you're going to need, figure out what the cost average is for advertising within that market niche. So are you getting into a category where the average keyword is going to cost you $5? Or are you getting into one where it's going to cost you 5 cents? Those are big differences, right? So those are the basics, Daniel. Again, I'm not fantastic at this area of Amazon, unfortunately. Have I had some, great winners in the past and everything? Absolutely. But for every win product that I have launched or every winner that I have had at least 10, 20 failures, right? It's just all about finding the one that works. Sean says, thank you. No problem. I think I already answered this one. I have a question: how to change price time to time for product to stay competitive, because I'm confused, don't know the exact on which price should be. I bought it. I bought it. Okay, whatever. So this is kind of what I would consider to be dynamic pricing, is your question, I think. What I always am going to say about dynamic pricing is lower your price roughly 20 to 25% once per month for 3-4 days. That's the secret here for dynamic pricing. Super quick, couple of days, 1 to 3 days. And then from there, focus on whatever it is. Focus on lowering the price and then a couple of sales. Realistically, I like to get roughly at least 100 sales before I kind of raise it up again. But that it depends on what your volume is right now. But this is dynamic pricing. 20 to 25% is fine. It realistically comes down to what your profit margins are on the product more than anything. Do you have any thoughts on returnless refunds? Is there a product type, price point, etc., where it makes sense? Yeah, typically what you need to do is you need to do an analysis on your profitability, right? So think of it this way. I worked with a client in the past, and this is what we did for it. We actually figured out, because they also had warranties on all of their products in some capacity. So we'd always check and see what is the average cost price of the product. So if you're making $5 profit on every single sale, if someone sends that product back to you and you need to, return their money, so you no longer have any profit on it, if you go through the process of having them return it and then it is purchased again, right? So you've paid fees out on this. So no matter what, you are going to be paying less. If you don't make profit on a secondary sale, then it's not worth it. There is a point in the amount of returns you can get on a product before it just turns into, this isn't worth the money, right? So think of it in the way of, for instance, it's also a lot of times products, if you have something that's like in a, I don't have anything around me. So I actually, here we go. I'll use this as an example. So I bought this a little while ago. So this is a phone case that I bought on Amazon. Super nice, whatever. The issue with this phone case is that basically, here is the phone case. Here is my phone that does not fit in it. So you can see the issue here. I wanted to return this. The thing is, this, I think, cost, I don't know, maybe $10 or something like that. If I return this, they're going to have to pay for that return label, right? They're going to have to pay for the product to be inspected to see if it's, in condition to be sold again, which it can't because I had to break the seal on the product. They are going to lose money on this. So I went to return it and they said, hey, no worry, just keep it and go from there. So it comes down to, are you going to be profitable or not if somebody returns the product? Or if somebody returns the product in broken packaging and it's no longer able to be sold via Amazon standard, if Amazon sends the product back to you and you repackage it, are you going to be making money? That's what it comes down to. That's the big thing. I also dropped a bunch of crap out of it. Whatever. There's a bunch of crap I dropped out of there, so I'm going to have to fish all that down later. Whatever. EJ Kelly. Do you have statistics for using videos with products? Is there a sales percentage increase assuming quality products? I don't have anything off the top of my head. I think we have a couple of different things on our website about this that I would definitely look up and be happy to send over. What I will say is, depending on product category will depend a lot on how well your video does and how well it pushes conversion. Video advertising can be amazing. Using videos on product listings, great for conversion rate. Absolutely helps improve conversion rate. Would always say go for it. The big thing to keep in mind here, and the big thing to always note, it's not going to be as effective as just regular advertising. But if you have a very technical product that needs explanation around what it does, or a product that's so niche that people don't even know they need it, video is fantastic. We have a client that they sell a specialized broom that is going to be amazing for video because it's so niche. Nobody knows it exists because they don't know a search for it, right? But video advertisement, fantastic for that type of product. Misha, I shipped 250 boxes to 5 different Amazon warehouses. I uploaded tracking numbers to Amazon, but they didn't match Amazon labels. So now I'm receiving inbound performance incorrect tracking information. So 5 different, I upload tracking numbers to Amazon, but they didn't match them. Okay. APR is 10%. Mine is already 18.36. Oof. And some of the shipments still in the way. Any recommendations what to do? Should I be worried? Thank you. Preemptively send a case into seller support. Explain the situation exactly the way you just explained it to me. And then from there as well, the big thing is when you're submitting tracking information, it needs to match to the Amazon labels. The Amazon labels are the tracking information for you. So that's the big thing that you need to make sure to do in the future. I will let you know, guys, we have a bunch more questions here, but again, I am going to be ending this a little short today. I have to hop on over to another pod, so you're not going to have to go long without me, but you'll just have to head on over to the other podcast for it. So My product has multiple functions. I want each variation focus on each specific function to index on those keywords. Each main image layout is same with a tag staying number of functions. Would it be confusing if each variation has a corner image image of the one function I'm trying to index for, even though all main images have the tag that says how many functions it has? No, I mean, that's basic conversion stuff. So you're essentially updating your PDP to make sure people are purchasing the right variation, the right one for them. So absolutely no, I think that would be great. That being said, it's not going to index for anything because you can't index off of images yet, at the very least. Is there any record content on updating trademark info and brand registry? And who at MAG would be the best consult on with updating a trademark? If you go Touchstone, we have a trademark section. So if you just head on over to our website, I'll also do this for you. If you head over to our website, go services, and then do trademark registration, you can do some stuff here and we can get in contact with you. So we'll talk through this entire thing. That being said, as well, you can just shoot an email over to podcast@myamazonguy.com or sales@myamazonguy.com, either one. And either myself, someone from the team will get in touch with you to kind of walk through the process and have one of our team members look at it for you. Let's say the bullet points description is not optimized for keyword X and its organic rank is 15. Does the optimization will increase its rank? And if it increases, is due to indexing or better conversion? All right. So first and foremost, if bullet points and description are not optimized for keyword X, you're never going to be rank 15. So you have to have that keyword to be able to rank for that keyword and index for that keyword. Secondarily to that, the way that you increase ranking organically on any keyword is just sales volume. You have to have the keyword within your listing. People have to be searching for it. You have to advertise against it. It's sales volume. Sales volume is the only way that you're increasing ranking ever. You have to do things to make sure that you increase that ranking, but regardless, that's a big thing. I noticed there are changes to Amazon title recommendations. Should I optimize my title to fit these requirements? Will this affect rankings because Amazon will have to re-index the listing? So optimize title to fit these requirements. Yeah, you have to. So Amazon requires it at this point. If your title is not fitting the recommendations by Amazon with like the double and triple keywords, or I think it's triple keywords, then Amazon will make a recommendation for you. Is it going to affect your Amazon rankings? No. The big thing with Amazon's change around the title being like, hey, you can't have the same keyword 3 times in your title. That's fine. I don't know anyone who was actively having like a keyword that was super important 3 times in their title anyways, because that would just be ridiculous. Like, yeah, can someone help? Sure. But, oh, look at this.
Yo.
What do you think, Steven?
Lost my admin privileges. I couldn't even like put myself in it.
I got you.
I've done this.
So what do you think, Steven? Title optimization. Do you think it's also kind of ridiculous when people are like, hey, do I have to worry about this when you already have 3 keywords, right? Like 3 keywords in your title was already a bit of a ridiculous thing to have, in my opinion.
All right. So title requirements keep changing. Wow, we got these weird graphics in the corner. Must have started. Yeah, QR codes now.
It's for our PPC thing. We're doing things around here.
Yeah, it's cool. PPC, dude, the PPC Mastery Summit that Kevin Sanderson puts on is amazing. It's so awesome. I bought it. Like I'm the majority owner of that now. So I hope you guys sign up for that. We put some of our best PPC experts in the space. All right, so I guess scan that QR code because we're fancy like that. Titles have been a topic of conversation from the inception of selling on Amazon. And Amazon comes out every year with some bullshit title optimization suggestion or rule. And then within 90 days, inevitably every single year, pulls it back. So in my recommendation, keep doing titles how you have succeeded in the past until it stops working. And there's debates on short versus long. There's debates on keyword stuffing. And there's so many frameworks we could talk about, but I'll just give this one simple one. And that is this. If you are a native-born Amazon brand, nobody can find your product unless you have exact match keywords in your title. Full stop. If you look at the top-selling brands that are household names, they have unoptimized listings and short titles and are outselling them. And it has nothing to do with optimization. It has everything to do with offsite signals. So should you optimize to the new requirements? In my opinion, wait. Wait as long as possible. Do not be proactive on rule changes ever about any rule change. There are some exceptions to that. There's an exception to anything I've ever said on the channel ever. But there's very few exceptions, especially when it comes to titles. I would wait this one out until you get a suppression. Seriously, just leave it alone.
This one, well, that's the thing, especially because Amazon isn't even like changing it. There's like, yeah, here's what we think you should have instead. If you don't update, we're going to change it regardless. And it's like, okay,
yeah.
So
that's like the government coming in and saying you guys are all going to use paper straws because they're better for the environment. It's totally bullshit. We all know it. It's a terrible experience, and it's just the elites trying to mess with us plebes. But it happens.
They get floppy in your mouth too quickly.
And then Donald Trump signs a new executive order to overturn that bullshit, and we're back to normal. So let freedom ring on that one. But anyway, I would be reactive to policy changes. That's my framework personally. When it comes to Amazon policy changes. Now, the only exception to this would be anything related to reviews. Be proactive on that shit because Amazon has been very harsh on review crackdowns or perception of review manipulation. They have the FCC on their back. I've seen people mention the word review on a product insert, and that was enough to yank their inventory. Do not mention reviews in product inserts. Do not ask for reviews in 2025, in my opinion. Full stop. Optimize your listings, lower your price to get reviews, sell more velocity that way. Do not try and gain reviews. Other than that, react to Amazon's policies. Don't be proactive.
Self-plug on the reviews. We put a video out on channel a couple of days ago where I go in depth on reviews and whatnot. So anyone who's curious, go watch that because I swear reviews is probably the frequently most asked question here. So
nice. Noah, you look pasty white, man. When you get some better lights for you. You got like
I know it's winter here. It's also just because I am pasty white. It's winter.
Yeah,
I haven't been outside in God knows how many days.
Wow. I mean, you got like a foot of snow up in Michigan.
Actually, surprisingly, the snow itself is like gone. Now it's just super cold. It's just cold, windy, and gross. And it's like you don't even get to see the pre-snow.
Dude, this week in Georgia, it's been like 70 degrees. I've been like walking a mile or two every day. It's been great. I got jaw surgery yesterday, by the way, guys, and I look great. I had to get out a plate. I'm like a little puffy on this side, but it was, it kind of feels like a wisdom tooth removal. It's not too bad.
I gotta be honest. If you hopped in here, I completely forgot the fact that you're supposed to be recovering.
Yeah, and I lifted weights this morning. Yeah, so like, go figure. I don't really want to rest. Apparently, I have like high energy right now. So I'm trying to like proactively going around, like, what can I do? I blocked my calendar. I don't have any meetings. We'll go join Noah on the live. I see he's live. All right, let's go to the next question. People are probably tired of me bullshitting. So
Charles said, can you send a link to the podcast you'll be on? It'll just be on this channel. For reference, Stephen, we're going to be on the Todd Welch podcast after this. So I'll just post it on this channel as well. You guys can hop over there after this one. Let's see. I have optimized my catalog and over 1,000 keyword are organically ranked for my best selling and also running PPC generating good clicks in right direction, but my conversion rate is very low.
So start with the main image and then check the price and then the secondary images in that order. The main image, you hear people talk about CTR, and we were literally the first to market, leading the industry on click-through rate. You can go back on the channel and see videos on this years ago. We knighted John Aspinall, who's taken the main CTR influencing. It was like one of 100 topics I talked on. It's his only topic, so he wins that. But we taught him how to do it. And but what a lot of people don't talk about is the conversion rate of main images. And so you guys got to really think about, like, the higher your click-through rate is, the higher the conversion is. So always look at the main image as the fastest way to grow sales on Amazon. It's a really obvious place to start. Price is the second. A lot harder of a conversation with people, but still a very easy mechanism. So Shahid, I would say if you lowered your price 25% and the conversion rate remained the same, that rules out pricing. You revert back up. It's not a price issue. But if you go down 25% and your conversion rate doubles, you know it's price. And then you have to decide, can you bear that price? But you need to know that answer. So go get 100 sales at 25% off, or even lower if you can bear that. And then after that, your secondary images and A+ content. So your secondary images, do they tell a story? Do they have the customer avatar? Do they have somebody looking at the camera with eyes open? Most people miss that shot. Most humanizing customer avatar ever. They miss it. And I really recommend that. And then all your standard things a lot of people don't miss, like having an infographic, having a product and use shot. But customer avatar is the number one missed issue. So for example, Shahid, if you sold an animal treat and you were marketing it to both dogs and cats, that would be a mistake. You should have one listing for dogs, one for cats.
I'd agree with all that. I think the big thing as well to kind of touch on there that I don't know if you dare or not, but the idea of when you're optimizing the PDP as well, for the A+ side of things, always try and increase for average order value in A+. It's one of the biggest things that I'm seeing people not do enough nowadays when they're working on their conversion rate is if you have the opportunity to add products in, add, your comparison chart at the bottom of your A+, helps amazingly when it comes to increasing your average order value, which will, increase your conversion rate over time.
So the brand story is probably my favorite place to do that. So you can see here, we have 19 modules of product cross-linked. This amazingly helps with average order value. Down here in the product grid, probably my second favorite place. Somebody that buys one soap is a little bit more likely to buy a second soap. And I'd say an average product has 0.1 or has 1.02. So that means 2 out of 100 people buy a second product at the same time. But in certain categories like grocery, that number goes up to like 16% or 1.16. So depending on your category, you'll have a lot of benefit to having a multiple item. Clothing probably might be at 8%. I'm just going off memory of accounts that I've seen. But essentially, the best places to do this is in the A+ content and brand stories. So highly recommend you guys merchandise your products.
Merchandising is huge. On to the next. Jacob, how can you prevent Amazon from sending return items which have already been used to new customers? They check returns very bad and label products as sellable, which are not. Ooh, so you can actually do this, I believe, from the return portal, where you can actually turn off the ability for Amazon any point in time to label any product that is returned as sellable. So that's what I would probably do instead. And you can always have Amazon. Also, the secondary aspect actually would be to mark that off for all products to be sent back to you or disposed. That is going to be crucial there, because otherwise you're going to end up with a bunch of inventory that's stagnant just sitting there, and you're going to get dinged for that. So yeah, that's, easiest way to go about it there.
Yeah. And even if you do enable that, it's still going to not work 10% of the time. I just want to put that out there.
Typically. What is good CTR, organic and sponsored, broadly to aim?
Let's go minimum of 8%, but keep in mind, this is at the keyword level, like all in. So I would say, I'm giving conversion rate. 8% conversion rate is like minimum, 12% is like excellent. And then on CTR, my CTR numbers are off. What do you think, Noah?
CTR, usually nowadays we're still probably sitting somewhere in the ballpark of 2.5 to 3. CTR is lower.
Not PPC though. PPC is closer to 1, right?
Yeah, so PPC is closer to 1. So if you can have it, I would consider like 1.25 to be an excellent CTR on PPC.
Yeah. That's usually sponsored brand videos. It's the sponsored products are actually closer to 0.35, not even 1. So on PPC, 0.35 is good, 0.25 is low. I'm just like remembering sheets in my head now. But organic, I don't really know what the CTR for organic. You're saying 2.5. What can you pull up?
I think somewhere around 2.5.
Can you pull up an account and let's look at the ICAP report? Let's take a look.
Yeah, let me look at this.
But certain keywords are going to be like high and others are going to be low. It's kind of hard to get an aggregate.
Yeah, we're pulling that up. You read through that.
Sure. Thank you for the donation, Viper. I remember you. Noah and Steve, happy Friday. I have an inactive product with 4.8 stars and 80 reviews. I want to launch a new product and relaunch the original. Should I launch them separately, then combine after doing Vine on the new one? So I personally hate Vine. I think it's slow, and I think your average reviews go down closer to a 4-star rating versus the 4.2 if you don't do Vine. I would just launch them immediately, parent them, and forget reviews. If you have no intent to use the inactive ASIN and you're trying to parent that with the new product, the reviews may not show from the old product. Keep that in mind. A lot of times people will just resurrect the old ASIN and retain the reviews that way, depending on how close the product is. So like, for example, I'm randomly holding this bottle opener because I like Mexican Coke. And if you were going to sell a new bottle opener and it was different, I would say pretty safe to reuse that product. This is against terms and conditions, I want to be clear, but it's not enforced. So I'm very liberal or very aggressive when it comes to utilizing old ASINs for new products. But I also see like a bright line here. If you were trying to switch from, say, this bottle opener over to a blender, and this is why you see a stain on my t-shirt today, because I was drinking some watermelon and I've got jaw surgery in my lip area. Just kind of fell down. I would not do that. I think that's a little bit more corrupted. But like a lot of times people will sell supplements and they'll change like one ingredient. Amazon's terms and services say new ASIN. And I say that's stupid. Just reuse the old one. So hopefully that gives you some help on that, Viper. But do not wait for Vine. Just launch at a low price. Get 50 units in sales, raise the price. Get 50 units in sales, raise the price again. You got a full price guide at myamazonguy.com/price, where we walk through that in great detail. I'll post the link in chat. And if you get sales early, everything else will take care of itself. You don't even need reviews. So that number one new release badge is the greatest thing that can ever happen. If you obtain that, you're off to the races. And I just did an Elon Musk salute right there, so cancel me. Forgot, I got to touch my heart first. Hold on. There we go. Elon Musk, I love you all. Yeah, we'll throw in some random banter here and there. Noah's like, holy shit, I can't believe you just did that.
Huh?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm looking at the CTR, man. Going back to the CTR, I looked at two different accounts. Between 1.8% and 3% is about average.
Dude, you knew CTR numbers better than me, man. Proud of you.
There we go. So it looked at a couple of different ones there, and so yeah, I would assume somewhere between 1.8 and 3% for branded search terms, for a little bit higher. So that's kind of what you're going to be looking at. That being said, I got bounced because I got to go to Todd Welch's. Steven, you going to stay around, or are we wrapping this up?
Yeah, I'll stay around. Do Todd's.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Steven, enjoy yourself.
Thank you. I don't even know if I'll. Yeah, I have the end screen button, so I should be set. All right, we'll see.
Yeah, you should be good. I assume the team will make it add. So there you go.
All right. I have no idea where we are on the question list. I'm going to start on the bottom and work my way back up. So newer questions. See you know. All right. So Royce says, what is the best way to get reviews without using Vine within compliance? Get orders. You need sales to get sales. That's not the answer you want to hear. I know, but launch your product so low price that you just generate tons and tons of reviews. Does Vine increase your BSR? Yeah, I do not think so. I could be wrong on that. I don't have actual technical knowledge on this question, but it doesn't trigger an order at full value, so I suspect no. If anybody knows the answer to that question, please answer that in the comments with what you do know, because someone else might have a more accurate answer. How much cheaper is traffic from Google Ads versus Amazon PPC? It's actually more expensive in most categories. It's also lower conversion, so even if it is cheaper, you're going to have a more expensive return on ad spend. I honestly would not do Google in most products. It's something I would test perhaps, but I do not find it necessary. Amazon PPC is so rewarding to organic sales that I would rather pay a premium for Amazon PPC and nurture it that way. So highly recommend that. Should I make a new account in single laptop? Answer yes or no. I'm not exactly clear what you're asking, but I see maybe a secondary part to this. Sir, can I use 2 Amazon seller accounts in one laptop in one Wi-Fi? Yes. You're going to hear a lot of misinformation on this topic, old information, outdated information all over the web on this. I have a full guide on how to run multiple accounts at myamazonguy.com/multiple. I've posted a link in the chat. This is the 4 core rules. Do not use the same admin email address. Great, I've got my webcam helping me out here. Don't use the same don't use the same admin email address, number 1. Number 2, do not use the same tax ID. Number 3, do not use the same banking account number. And number 4, don't use the same cell phone number. Everything else, and I mean literally everything else, can be the same. You can have the same address, the same Wi-Fi, the same name, all of that stuff, totally fine. And so I recommend you guys take care of that. Will the Elon Musk salute get you suppressed? I really doubt it unless somebody reports me, but have at it. Let's go to when you first launch, should you attack reviews quickly with friends and family, plus the low price to rank fast? So I would recommend the low price as the only safe methodology. Do I have one friend or family place an order or 2 on a new product launch? Yes. Would I recommend you do that? Yes. Is it against terms of services? Yes. Would I do it a 3rd time? Absolutely not. Because they will catch you and they will track you down and suppress reviews. So onesie twosies, pretty safe. You're going to go under the radar. You only need 1 or 2 reviews and then you're set. I would not do that a 3rd time, a 4th time, a 5th time at all. And that's going to cause some challenges if you do. All right, let's go to the next question here. Pricing strategy for launching consumer electronic products. One of the toughest categories. You're competing almost exclusively against the Chinese. And you're going to need multiple SKUs, colors, promotion codes, just to have like a level average chance of winning. The same pricing strategy does work in electronics. Launch the product as low price as you possibly want. Possibly can, and that will really help you get off the ground. If you don't get sales and then you lower the price and you still don't get sales, you're cooked. You will not win with that product. If you get sales at a lower price and then you raise the price and sales stop, you might need to get more consumer proof before you can raise the price. You might have to stay at a lower price an extended period of time to get that BSR, get those ranks, etc., before it will work. Stephen J says, my remote fulfillment ASIN in Canada randomly had inventory that stopped syncing with the US. I deleted and relisted, but no luck. Support said it could be a regulation issue. Other products are exactly the same and not being blocked. What to do? First thing I would check, Stephen, is the UPC code, or EAN, in the GTIN field filled out. If it is, and it's linked on both, it could be a regulatory issue, which is ASIN specific when they do that, not account specific. So even if you have other products that are the same, they haven't been caught yet. Canada regulations are way more strict. You have, especially if it's a topical product, so it goes on your skin, or a consumable product, you consume it, you'll have way more regulation issues with those in mind. If the UPC is not listed, I would do a template upload and load the UPC, and it may resolve your issue. Yesterday, I was a tag on LinkedIn. You both due to a new client invite issue. So from Amazon, it's resolved. Thank you. We'd love to know if my tip helped you out, Abdullah. Let me know if clearing cache or switching emails helped you out. Royce said, and yes, they're looking at the camera, Steve. All right. Second listing images were recently changed and looks more professional. Great. So if you still have a conversion issue there, Royce, start running some A/B tests and then check the price first, probably. We want to expand to Canada and sell padlocks, says Danielle. How can I analyze the Canadian marketplace for gaps and successes of our products? Please give a thorough answer. All right. Well, Helium 10 or other tools can show you the demand. It's estimated. It's not, it's usually within one standard deviation of accuracy, but that gives you a pretty good shot of getting 86% accurate. And when in doubt, only launch your powerful SKUs in Canada. So if you've got a 100 SKU catalog and 5 SKUs are 80% of your sales, those are the 5 SKUs I would launch in Canada. Padlocks is a commodity item, so chances are it'll do well in Canada. But if you have too many SKUs, I would select a smaller amount of SKUs to launch with, test it out. You got the tariff wars and all that bullshit going on right now too, which makes this a little trickier. You may see stock issue or delays and many other tax challenges hit you. Not the best time to go launch in Canada, but it can be a 7% boon. That's basically like adding the state of New York to your sales if you launch in Canada. Alternatively, you can use the NARF program, that is the North American Remote Fulfillment Program, or NARF, if you watch Pinky and the Brain from Animaniacs. And that is a program that will get you 1.5% on average additional sales without actually shipping it over to Canada. And that will link your US FBA inventory into Canada, and Padlocks would be an acceptable product to do that with. Consumable and topicals, a lot harder. Almost every other category, pretty safe. Royce says, I have over 1.10 CTR, good impressions, but low conversion. Not sure if listing images affected this. Should I do A/B testing or PickFu? I would do probably PickFu first. It's just fast, cheap, and easy. $50. We'll give you 50% off your first order over at PickFu with this promo, pickfu.com/myamazonguy. I think you're on the lower side of CTR based on what Noah found. So main image, start there. Start on the main image. When you say lowering price to get reviews, should I go with break-even price to start with, or is that too low? That's exactly where I would go, break-even. Get as many sales on the door as you possibly can. Danielle, woo, thank you. Hello. Tati says, Stephen, how did you start MAG? What was your initial investment and plan when you did close your first client? All right, so here's what happened. I got laid off from a lighting company. I was making $200,000 as a 30-year-old, and I had for 48 hours, I was looking outside, I was looking at myself, looking in the mirror, basically thinking to myself, I had peaked in life, and what was I going to do? And so I was like, who's going to hire me? So I had a moment of despair, and then I looked at myself and I said, I'll hire myself. And I started by creating some social media content. I made a LinkedIn post. I signed my first client under 48 hours for $3,000 a month. I had done side hustle consulting for 5 years. I had 16 side hustle consulting contracts I'd closed before then. And I basically made the agency with that in mind. And, no bar hole. I was just straight up, here's my package. You want to hire me? Yes, no. Cool. I don't care if you do, don't care if you do not. And then I immediately just got to work. So signed my first client in 48 hours. I had 50K in MRR within 90 days. It just absolutely blew up. And part of the reason it blew up is because I posted content on YouTube. My first video was about how to make a brand store before anybody else talked about it. It did quite well. How do I increase sales staying in budget with a high price product? The niche is sitting at $12 average price. My client's product is in the $27. How do we boost visibility and sales without reducing the price? This is incredibly difficult, Shalene. Good luck. Amazon is about price more than anything else. Some things that you could do, make sure the packaging looks very premium. Make sure the customer has a premium experience. Make sure the secondary image stack shows a premium customer experience. That means that the customer avatar on a premium product has to be down. You have to, Dan Kennedy talked about this back in the 90s. He said, knowing your customer avatar is like knowing who orders a Russian mail order bride. The answer to that question is a 3-time divorced truck driver. Know your customer avatar down to that kind of granular level, and you will succeed even with a premium product. Additionally, Shalene, you'll need some off-site signals, most likely, and you're going to need really stellar good reviews, big time. All right, I think I've caught up on most of the questions. Going back to the new ones down south here. Would you recommend using automated emails beyond just review requests? Nope, I don't use them anymore. They're useless. Almost everybody's opted out. I'll give you, here's a litmus test. When's the last time you responded to an Amazon email to write a review? Crickets. Nobody does. So even a thank you note, I wouldn't even try. Product inserts, wouldn't do that either. Just go get orders. Honestly, it's not worth your time trying to generate reviews in 2025. It's not even on our top 50 things to do for brands in 2025. Not even makes the top 50. You're going to hear a lot of other people that disagree with me on this one. I'm very much isolated, in my opinion, on review gen. I think it's overrated. I think it's too difficult, and I think it's hostile AF. I would not touch it currently. Do you suggest to start FBA wholesale or Amazon private label or maybe micro private label? There is no wrong answer to this question. I started with retail arbitrage personally, then I transferred over to wholesale, and then I got into private label. Private label is the absolute hardest, more risk, more reward. I would say retail arbitrage is super easy, but you also can't really get a lot of margin. And then wholesale is kind of middle of the road. So, it just depends on who you are, what your goal is. Do you want to spend money building a brand, or you just got some side hustle money? And if you just have some side hustle money, retail arbitrage, great place to start, learn the motions there. You need to really change the main channel image. I know, dude, but like, I can't even control my jaw. So, when I went and did a photo shoot the last 2 times, I looked up 100 emotions, memorized them, and then in front of the camera, I was like, But like right now, my jaw is still recovering from jaw surgery, and I'm like, I can barely do 20 emotions. So if I go do a photo shoot right now, and I just had jaw surgery the second time yesterday, they pulled out a plate. My plate got infected. One of the screws came loose. Really sucks. And so like my team was like begging me, we need to do photos. Everything's your AI, Steve. I'm like, I know, dude. I know. Like I got ripped, right? Like I got like super buff. I got a hair transplant, and I don't look the same. My jaw was moved 9 millimeters forward. I got a new jawline. So it is in the agenda, but I don't feel ready for a photo shoot. I think it'll be a waste of my money. But March is when I put my deadline, so I'll have to do it by then. Do you use multiple account? Okay, all right, we got that one already. Boom, boom, boom. All right, so probably take a couple more questions here and then wrap for today. I had a lot of fun just jumping in randomly, answering questions, get me back to my groove. I have been dealing with some personal things the last few months, and it's been a difficult time in my life, pretty much a low point in my life, I would say. And I've never failed so hard in life than I have in the last 4 months. A lot of sorrow, a lot of heartbreak, and a lot of losing and loss. So I'm still here. I built a great team. MAG is still growing. And I have been working on myself more than I've been working on MAG in the last 4 months. I hope very soon to flip that and work more on MAG than myself, but I'm not sure. I'm taking baby steps right now, right? So I'm like checking into work and I'm looking at Slack, I'm shouting orders, but I'm not really taking a lot of meetings, even though I've got my coaching page up, but not taking a lot of meetings just to keep the jaw rested. It does hurt to talk, but I really enjoy helping Amazon sellers. And this sort of thing where I come back and get back to the roots, answering Amazon problems and challenges really reinvigorates me. And I'm forcing myself to do that, go through the motions. Some people listening to this will resonate to that message. You've had a hard time in your life, something that felt so overwhelming that you couldn't come back from, but you did. You found a way to do it, and you did come back. So Rocky Balboa style, 1-2, 1-2. By the way, I picked up Muay Thai boxing. I did a little bit of jiu-jitsu, but I like Muay Thai. I like punching more than I like wrestling. So that's how I've been getting in shape. I use a tonal at home. Worked out this morning, bench pressed, did some squats, leg press, all that good stuff. How do I find ladies for my product images? Try stock photos. iStock. A bunch of places. Canva even has some free images. AI, if nothing else. Not hard to find some ladies. Where did you find the organic CTR? So the brand analytics report will show you the CTR at the keyword level. It does combine PPC in there, to my knowledge, but That's as close as you're going to get. What are the new title rules by Amazon? Ignore them. They just want short titles, but they've been on that mantra for 3 years. Haven't ever seen them enforce it for more than a month or two. It's not my favorite thing. Daniel says, yeah, man, you've been through a lot. Best wishes and fast recovery. Yeah, and the jaw surgery would have been enough for a lot of people to like take a break. But I've had a lot of other personal challenges at the same time stacking up, and it's been a lot. It's been a lot. Do people still buy accounts for the reviews? They do, but I don't like, it's not enough. Like if you don't have a good product, you're not going to go anywhere. Focus on products, accounts secondary. Yeah, I'd say like 5%. Like an older established account will give you a 5% advantage, but it could cost you $10,000 or whatever. All right, so I'm looking at the last question to see where we're going to end up. Adding to what Roche said, don't the new title rules make tools like Data Dive less relevant? Not yet. You know, everybody's like, AI, title rules. And I'm like, not yet. It's going to be a couple years, guys. Stop making proactive changes. React to Amazon's algorithm. Don't proactively guess, because they do not have AI patents live. They filed them, but they're not using them yet. So just kind of wait it out. Definitely recommend this. Tacky for agency stuff, go over to myguy.agency/case. That'll answer a lot of your questions on how to get your agency off the ground. Jeremiah says, best of luck in dealing with personal issues. Really appreciate that. Element says, can you share some new best performing campaigns like the catch-all campaigns and others? So for those who don't know what the catch-all campaign, that's where you create an auto campaign for every single product, put a 5-cent bid. Won't get very many impressions, but you'll be amazed that it's your highest ACOS or your highest ROAS, best performing campaign on the account. Just won't produce very much. Other things I'd say is run weekly PPC negations. Never negate a good keyword. That's the number one mistake everybody makes in PPC. It blows my mind. They get an auto peak keyword that does well. They're getting an ACOS of 20%. And then they're like, I'm going to promote that to exact match. And then the exact match gets a 40% ACOS, but they already paused the auto keyword. And then they're like, well, now I got to negate it because it's over my 35% target. If something works, leave it the hell alone. Do not negate a good keyword. So tips like that. Almond, you can also find other PPC tips that you will absolutely love at myamazonguy.com/PPC. I have put my best PPC tips there. Wow, that thumbnail there doesn't look like me, does it, guys? We're definitely going to get a new thumbnail up pretty quick here. All right, this is going to be our last question for the show today. My last question, how to understand keyword ranking. Please, a big answer. All right, myamazonguy.com/SEO is your big answer. That explains all the keyword ranking juice, how to do it, why to do it, 4 phases of SEO. I walk in great detail on this, dozens of videos, dozens of tips. But the answer I'll give on today's show, don't use commas in the search terms. Get 250 characters or bytes, depending on the category you're in. And fill it out with no repetition keywords. Make sure you use Spanish. Make sure you use alt text on the A+ content. That is the 100 characters of keyword stuffing per image. Use as many images as you can in A+ content. Use as many modules as you can. Put as many copy words as you can. Try and get to premium A+ content if you can. Brand story, tell lengthy amounts of text and copy. That will be very beneficial. And your title, which is a moving target on rules right now, definitely still keyword stuff in 2025. Rufus will change things. It has not yet, despite what some AI experts are claiming. It is not changing the SEO guidelines yet. Will it? Absolutely. How soon? My prediction, 2026. I do not think we will see a change this year. If we do, I will break that news when I see it. For now, maintain the same rules because they still work. I have thousands of accounts I have access to. We make these changes on many, many accounts every single day. We still see all of the SEO best practices that I have at myamazonguy.com/SEO still working. Take advantage of them. We give a lot of our stuff out for free. I do that for many reasons. My personal motto in life is leveling up life to accelerate prosperity to the world. It's not a zero-sum game. I can help thousands of you for free. A couple hundred of you will pay me money, and we all get rich together. And if you're one of those people and you guys want to hire My Amazon Guy, go to myamazonguy.com/book. book a call with our sales team. It's free. They will give you free tips on that call, add value. They will listen to your problems, give you some suggestions. And of course, if you want, we'll give you a proposal, tell you how we would fix it, manage it, build it, grow it, and take care of all of your goals. My name is Stephen Pope. I am not AI, but I did get a hair transplant, jaw surgery, and I lost 50 pounds. And I am the CEO and founder of My Amazon Guy. That is our show today. I was your special mystery guest. I'm not on the thumbnail. Hope you stuck it out. Thanks, everybody. If you like today's stream, please leave a comment with your favorite tip. And I would appreciate that. Or give me a compliment. Say, you look hot, AI Steve. Then I'll know you really watched till the end. We'll see you guys. Have a good one.